Pryvit.
Bonjour.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Brew with Vienna, Whyte, Season 1, Episode 52, a YEG music production. I'm your host, Marissa Kay.
I'm your other host, Millie Rouge, and good morning.
Good morning. I was just finishing up my breakfast. It's a bagel with cream cheese and liver spread.
Oh,
Which I know doesn't sound very appetizing, but I swear it's really good. At least I think so.
At least I believe so.
I don't know. Do you ever have any foods that like you eat or you ate when you were growing up that like you said it to somebody else and they're like, that's disgusting. Ew.
I mean, I am that kid that says that. That's disgusting. So probably not.
Oh, you're that kid. Okay. Okay.
I don't think I ever ate like weird combos myself, but yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't think I could say that I did.
Oh man, I remember as a kid, I loved sugar as a kid. I loved sugar.
Yeah.
I used to ask my mom for like she would give me like one of those measuring cups, like a small little quarter cup or eighth of a cup, and I'd ask her for chocolate chips, and she would put some of those in a little thing, and it was like my favorite little snack to have. But I remember when I wanted to be bad, I one time I snuck into the kitchen and I just ate a spoonful of sugar every now and then. Every now and then.
Bad to the bone.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I used to eat ketchup packets. That was pretty gross.
You used to eat ketchup packets?
Yeah, they didn't last very long, but even thinking about it now makes me.
Me and my friends used to dare each other to drink the little creamers whenever we went to like a wedding or some sort of event. We would like walk by the coffee table and just like take a bunch of creamers, and we would just like shoot them like shots, and we're like 15. I don't know.
So badass.
That is what we thought was the definition of badass when we were teenagers.
Actually, this one time when I was a child, I was probably like 8 to 10. I don't know the exact age range, but my mom was having a party of some sort with like her lady friends. I don't know what the party was for, but so one of our family friends' daughter I was just hanging out with, because you know when you get forced to play with other children because you're the same age group, and they're just like, here, shove you with this kid. So there was this punch, and we were like, yeah, this is so good. And we're just like drinking. We're like being little kids and running up and down the stairs and playing. And I was like, oh, why am I so like, we were both so energetic, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why are we like being so hyper? The punch had alcohol in it. So literally my mother said she made it without alcohol, but somebody spiked it.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. We're like 8, right? So our tolerance is probably way higher. So we probably only had like 1 or 2 glasses, but still, considering when you're that age, you're probably like, woo!
Yeah. Oh my God. That's
so
actually kind of really funny.
That was a trip. But
oh my God.
So speaking of childhood, let's talk about our topic of today. I had to keep this conversation going about kids because I could not lose this segue.
Good segue.
We are going to talk about our favorite TV shows from when we were kids.
Yes. So, hello, Instagram. Our topic of today, I know you just said it, but our topic of the day is shows from our childhood. And we're going to talk about our favorite shows from our childhood. So I have a lot of feelings about this because I'm a very nostalgic person. And I like to look back and and I think the reason why 90s kids specifically are very nostalgic is because I forgot the thing again. My headphones, where are they? I think they're right here. Oh yeah, they're right here.
Did a bad thing.
I regret the thing I did.
Forgot my headphones again.
What it is? Tell you what I did. I did a bad thing.
Why do these TikTok songs get stuck in my head? I could not tell you, but they
actually. Okay, I have to send you a video. It's called the entire history of the world, I guess, and it's like that guy who made that song. He has a whole channel like full of these songs, and there's one where he's like, "Oh hey, just checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage." What
Yes,
are you
yes.
doing?
I'm playing with these filters and they're very entertaining. I probably shouldn't, but that's what I'm gonna do the whole live stream is have that filter on. Sorry, my roommate is slamming doors if you hear that in the background, which he
Oh,
does
it's all good.
every single morning, even though he knows I'm recording. He still slams doors.
Oh, it's all good.
Anyways. Wow. I
So
need to stop.
you do need to stop. You're getting distracted. We need to talk about childhood.
Let's talk. Okay, so
Um,
why do you think the 90s kids are nostalgic? Sorry, you never finished that thought, did you?
yeah, that thought got interrupted.
Mhm.
The reason why I think 90s kids are nostalgic is because we lived in this era where we rapidly started getting more and more
Mm,
technology. So like we still remember our
yes.
childhoods. Like I still remember before I had a phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember like the day or the days before we had regular internet. Like we
Yep.
had like
Dial up.
I think yeah, or like every family had like the computer room. Like that was the computer room.
Yes, with the chunky
Um
desktop.
yeah, with the chunky desktop, and it took like forever for the computer to turn on and turn
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I remember there was always that room in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember like, coming home when the street lamps turned on, like that
Yep.
was your time to come home. And
Wow, what a world.
I know, and I think that's why 90s kids specifically, like in this era,
Yeah.
get so nostalgic, is because we remember growing up without this technology, and then
Hmm.
it was introduced into our lives later
Halfway
on.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember I told myself for the longest time, I was like, I'm never going to get a smartphone. Like those things, people get so addicted to them. And I was
Smartphone.
like, I don't need a smartphone.
Ah, you know
And
what? That is such a good point because I think that's a really beautiful thing is that we got to experience life without technology and then life with technology. So we have this, well, fairly good balance. I mean, we've been screwed by every world war, whatever, in our lifetime and 9/11 and everything like that. Before we're 30, y'all. Okay, let's talk about that first. But I think it's beautiful because we don't rely on it. We were never using it in school other than like computer class, but like
I
what
remember
the
we had
frick
we
was
had to
computer?
learn how to type. We had typing
Yeah, we had
class.
typing games. Those were so fun. But
Do you remember that one game that you
spaceship?
played on the computers in the computer lab that was like paint, but every time you painted it was like doodle, and it like made like music when you painted?
Oh, that sounds familiar
Do you remember
actually.
that? Or like
Mhm.
Microsoft Word Paint?
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, that was the shiz and you'd put
And where you
everything
just
in
would
it.
like draw, you would just draw with like
Shapes.
that pencil and then use the paint bucket tool and just like, and you're like, I'm an artist.
That's how we had fun back then on computers.
It
So,
was a lot of fun. Or we used to play
yeah.
like that one pinball machine game
Yep.
that was,
That was
if you didn't have
classic.
internet, that's what you played, or
Yeah.
Snake. Or
Or if
I
you're at
remember
school, yeah.
specifically I had this I had these like bowling games that we like had on a, I think we won it from like some sort of cereal.
Yes, yeah.
um
Those were the
or didn't
best
win it. We
games.
just like they came in cereal boxes. I know, I miss those days when you had
So
video
fun.
games in cereal boxes.
So fun.
um which I think would work today in terms of
Totally.
marketing. I think that'd be brilliant. But
Mhm.
anyway, um and I used to have these two bowling games. One was a polar bear bowling game, and the other was
Mm.
a Shrek bowling game.
What? That's weird.
It was
I
it
had
was such a
the
it was such a fever dream thinking back onto
yeah,
it, and like I forgot that they existed.
right? Fever dreams are the coolest, which we'll probably bring up a lot of today.
Yeah.
But I loved that I had that fish game where you were like a little fishy and you would go through all the levels and I can't remember what it was called. Do you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about? And you were
yeah, I know
like
exactly what game you're talking
you
about.
had a little fish friend too and
Yeah.
what was it called? But I had Roller Coaster Tycoon
Oh,
because
yeah.
those all came in the cereal
Sims was a huge thing
boxes.
back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were oh, if I
But we're
had
not
more
talking about
time to
video
play
games
computer
today.
games, I
Or
would.
computer games.
Yes.
Yeah, those were a trip.
Yeah. We're talking about TV shows, which is
Yeah,
still
TV
nostalgic
shows.
AF.
Yes.
So
I guess like,
it's
because
hard to
back in the
pick.
90s, the oldest I ever was in the 90s was 7 or 8. No, 7.
The
Because
oldest I ever
99. I
was
was
in the
born in 93,
90s.
99. So sorry, that was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
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 It took me a second.
I was like, I don't know.
Um,
That was
but
six
yeah,
or five.
so the oldest I ever was in the 90s was like 6 or 7 ish.
Hmm.
So most of the TV shows that I grew up with were in the early 2000s, because I was 6 or 7, so
Right.
I watched like
Right.
movies and VHS tapes. And
Hmm.
but I have a very, very vivid memory of sneaking watching The Simpsons or watching Who's Line with my dad.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I remember I would specifically not I would pretend that I couldn't sleep. So dad, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Or I guess they probably knew, to be
Yeah,
honest.
they probably knew. Their parents.
Yeah, so I remember that I used to pretend that I couldn't sleep, and I would go into the living room and lay on my dad's lap. So I'd be laying like this, and then I would like have this eye closed and then this eye open, and I would watch The Simpsons or Who's Line, and my dad would laugh, and that would like, you know, that'd be like, huh, huh, like I could feel him laughing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't understand the jokes, and I'd just be like, I don't get why everyone's laughing. Why is it so funny? And I just didn't understand.
And
But I
now
was
you
like,
watch it
I
and you're
get to
like,
stay up late.
oh.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
those were nostalgic picks for me.
yeah, absolutely. I think for myself, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like I was quite young when certain shows came out, and but the thing is I had older sisters. So a lot of the stuff that they watched, I would watch too, just because that's what
Mm.
happens when you're the youngest child. Um, so a lot of the time I like as a kid, I loved TV. Like I think I was like I love cell phones now. So I think my version of cell phone addictions before was TV addictions. And I didn't have any channels. Like I didn't have Family Channel, didn't have Cartoon
You had
Network
like
or
12 channels, and one of them was the French channel.
it went up to
Yeah.
channel 22. So I
Yeah.
had YTV. I had the global channel. Sometimes
That
I
was
would get
channel
like
13 for me. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would get like Caillou stuff, and I'd be like, God, not
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
Caillou.
Treehouse.
Yeah,
Treehouse. Yeah.
Treehouse. Yes, that was another one.
Yeah.
So I mean, I kind of was limited, but the shows I did have, I would watch the heck out of. So myself, like starting really far back, I used to watch a lot of Sailor Moon with my sisters primarily, because that's quite an old show. So it's not even like I was quite young when that came out, but when I did start to get older, that's what we watched.
Fighting evil by
Oh, so
moonlight,
great.
winning love by daylight,
Yeah.
never running from a real fight. She is the one named Sailor. Sorry, I won't sing the whole theme song,
So
but
I've learned with Marissa is that when she starts singing, you just have to let her finish because she'll just keep singing. So
yes,
you
I
just
will.
let her sing her whole thing out and just sit there and wait.
My life is a musical. Let's be real. My
You
entire
make it a
life is a
musical.
musical. I do. Life's more fun that way.
It's true. So yeah, that was kind of my like introduction, I guess, to a lot of TV. I'm trying to think of like what I watched when I was really little, but I can't honestly
Well,
remember.
I enjoy that pick of Sailor Moon. That was going to be like my number one pick, was like my most nostalgic TV show.
Yes.
I have a picture of me in my room of me at Halloween. At Halloween, it was during Halloween. I had my
Yeah.
hair in pigtails and a Sailor Moon costume, and I
Oh
was doing like the,
yes, the peace
except I
sign.
didn't know how to do it. I was like 5, so my hand was like this, and I just didn't understand. But I
Yeah,
was
I
very
dressed
happy.
up in grade 2 or 3 as Sailor Moon with this like really synthetic blonde cheesy wig.
Nice.
And I also had like eczema all over my mouth. So I was slabbered in Vaseline, and there's a picture of me being like, and oh,
That's awesome.
it's traumatizing.
We should find both of these pictures and like put them on our
Yeah,
story or
I
something.
know there's somewhere, but I don't know where.
um so yeah, Sailor Moon is a great pick. If we're talking about animes, I was
Mhm.
also super into Pokemon
Oh yeah,
and
that was the
Dragon Ball
thing.
Z. That those two are shows that like me and my brother, like well, I have 2 brothers, but I didn't really spend a lot of time with my brother who was 10 years older than me.
Mhm.
um we didn't have a lot in common. I can't understand why. But my brother, who's only 2 years older than me, we would literally like yell at each other. We're like, "It's on!" And we would like come running. We're like, "Pokemon is on! Dragon Ball Z is on!" And
Oh, it's funny.
yeah, those 2 were also like, man, the 90s had like the best
The
show theme
coolest
songs.
stuff. The coolest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like I think
honestly.
anybody and their dog could sing the Pokemon theme song to me right
Yeah,
now.
it's
I
true.
won't. I'm going to resist the
It's
urge, but I want to.
she's internally struggling right
I
now,
am.
so
I really am. I really am. I'm singing the whole thing in my head right now.
I actually just saw a flashback of a show I used to watch, and I'm curious to know if you watched it. It was on my TV. It was
Hmm.
called Uh-Oh.
Yes.
That's
Again,
a
another great theme song.
huge
Um,
throwback.
that
Huge
was for
nostalgia.
anybody who's maybe not in Canada and watching this, who I mean,
Mm-hmm.
most of people who watch this are in Canada. But
Yeah,
for those who aren't in Canada, there was a show, a kids theme show or game show called Uh-Oh. And it was basically like a trivia thing. There was like no
mm-hmm.
real I guess there was like some sort of games, like carnival style games, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
and there
can't
was
really
like
remember.
the whole show was called Uh-Oh because there's like
Goo.
again, I'm trying so hard to remember. I remember the host was named Wink Yahoo, and he had like this
Oh
big
yeah,
wig
yeah.
that he had,
It was
and all these
awesome.
cue cards, and I remember that there was this little machine that you would get into, and then the
The
Punisher
slasher.
would the Punisher.
Slash and Sam. That's his name. I just
Is
looked it
that
up.
his name?
I
Oh
just
my
looked it up.
god.
It's a
Insane.
Canadian TV show. Cool.
Yeah, so the Punisher would pour goo on you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he would always have like he looked like a wrestler, and he would always
Yeah.
have like a catchphrase. I don't remember what the catchphrase was, but it was
Yeah,
like
something silly.
like you're about to get slimed, or like something more clever. But
Yeah. And it
that
was
was such a
pretty
weird show.
pretty gross the amount of slime that would get on their bodies, but hey. So we're gonna end it here on
Yeah.
Instagram, and we're gonna keep going on our YouTube channel. Make sure to check out the Vienna White's YouTube channel to watch more. What are words? Oh god.
um but yeah, that the Uh-Oh was a great show.
Awesome
um
show. Super cool. Hey Arnold was a great show.
that was another one I was going to bring up.
Super nostalgic. I actually
um
also loved Dexter's Laboratory. That was a huge,
Yes,
huge show for me.
actually, okay, I know some fun facts about Dexter's Laboratory. I
Curious.
like to watch video essays on YouTube about various topics, and I will go down a rabbit hole of just watching video essays.
Hmm.
And so there's one that came up on Dexter's Lab, so I was like, of course I'm going to watch this.
Yeah,
And
of
apparently, it
course.
was like the one cartoon that actually like saved the Cartoon Network. So like when
Oh,
they so like the whole reason why the Cartoon Network is what it is today is because of Dexter's Laboratory.
yes.
And just the way that they created the show was that it was created for kids, but it was something that adults could also enjoy.
I could see
um
that. Yeah.
and there again, there was a whole bunch other, I don't remember who made the video, I gotta look it up.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, it's one of those things where it didn't start off as Dexter's Laboratory. It started off as like, I don't even think he had a voice to start off with. They just
Mm,
started off with like a
animated.
silhouette. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And I think it was actually called like Dee Dee's, it was like Dee Dee's brother or something. Like it was a weird,
Oh,
yeah.
something weird spin-off.
Yeah.
D what was her name?
Dee
D.
Dee.
Stop it. I can't do the accent.
Dee Dee, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I remember omelette du fromage.
Oh, I love that show. I love his accent. It's so amazing. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense why his sister doesn't have an accent, but he has this thick,
Dee
thick
Dee,
accent.
I am a scientist. I
Out
can't
of my
even do it.
lab.
Do not push that button, Dee.
I am Dee Dee in real life. That's who I really am.
Ah, Dexter, what's this? Anyway,
Actually, sticking around, I just found this show, and that was a
such a good show.
huge random. That's a fever dream show for me right now. That just went through my
Yes,
brain.
I used to be so addicted to that show. I loved
So
that show.
random. Such a
So
random
random.
show.
It's literally a stick figure show. But I
Yeah.
remember because I don't remember. I think I mentioned this to you actually, like back on a morning brew back in the day where I had a friend of mine who they speak very loudly sometimes,
Yeah.
and they don't realize it, and I have to tell them, I'm like, hey, like you're talking really loud, and they're like, oh sorry, and I'm like, you're like that character from Sticking Around where he's like, holy mackerel, and he like
Yeah.
screams all of his lines. He's like, hey
Uh,
guys, what are you doing today? It's like, calm down.
yes, I remember. Oh,
uh Also,
great
again,
show.
another great theme song.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that theme song. That
Do
was a
do
great
do
theme
do do
song.
do 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 do. Great song.
What was your least favorite TV show? I'm curious, out of the 90s kind of era.
Ooh.
I don't even have one yet.
I
I'm just curious to know yours first.
well, I know a lot of people had like a big love for Ren and Stimpy.
Oh,
Um, but I never got into it. I just
mm-hmm.
didn't find it very funny.
Yeah.
But again, like I never really saw, and I don't think I actually saw any episodes of it. I think I just saw clips here and there when I was like
Mm,
flipping through channels.
yeah.
Um, but like I never really got into Ren and Stimpy. I'm just trying to think of any other ones.
Yeah.
Most of them are cartoons.
A lot
when
of
we were kids.
I find a lot of TV shows that had weird animation I would not enjoy. Like I'm very weird about I've told you this before, I'm pretty sure, but like
Yeah,
with my
you
animation.
freak out with animation.
Yeah. So there were certain shows that just the way they animated the characters, it just made me like I don't
Angela
want to say
Anaconda.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
That was a weird show.
And just like it seems like the people are on drugs when they make these TV shows. And I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. I hate when characters, and I know this is like a thing that makes art unique in animation, but I hate when characters have disproportionate body functions. So like when
What?
their noses are like freaking massive on their face and it's like part of the animation and it's
Oh,
supposed to
you
be
should
like
really not watch the
artsy.
Thornberries then. You really shouldn't watch the
Oh, I watched
Thornberries.
that, yeah. Like things
Did
like
you?
that. Yeah, that's a good example. Or even like Hey Arnold, technically they all had really weird portions of their
Football
bodies.
head.
So I mean I would still watch them, but some shows would just make me be like, ugh. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
there was.
I just
Yeah.
thought of one.
What?
Well, actually I did watch this show. I guess I did watch it, but you remember Yvonne of the Yukon?
Oh yeah, I didn't like that show.
Like I know it's a Canadian
Yvonne
show and
of
it
the Yukon.
presented
Da da da
Canadian a
da
lot,
da.
but just yeah,
Yeah,
it's too
I
gross for
remember
my
I tried
liking.
to I remember I actually made a conscious effort to try to watch that show.
Yeah.
And I just like it just again because the whole beginning part just grossed me out when I
Yeah.
watched it as a kid that I was just
Yeah.
kind of like
Can't get with it.
like I tried to watch a couple episodes and like I remember the couple episodes that I watched I was like okay, yeah, it's all right, but like I didn't
Mhm.
want to like every time I finished my show and I saw the Yvonne of the Yukon come on and I was like no, and I
I'm gonna
just turned it
change the
off.
channel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Um so yeah, that was one that I didn't really care for. Honorable mention though, the show in between shows on Treehouse. This is back when I was a really little kid.
Yep.
This is a show
Berenstain
called
Bears.
Nanalan. Berenstain Bears, yes.
Oh my
Do you
god, is
remember
that is that
Nanalan?
is that the one where she's like what's the dog's name?
She's like a
Russell!
wrestler.
Russell! Wrestler!
Wrestler, yeah. Wrestler. And it's like a weird 15
Oh, it
minute.
was so weird.
It was so weird.
It
Such
was
a weird show.
amazing. It was amazing.
I have to send you a video. It's actually, well, your roommate's cousin who made a video on it.
Mhm.
It's so funny. Okay, I'll just send
Yeah,
you that
just
video
send it
because
to
it's
me.
so funny. He does like a whole thing on Nanaland and
Yeah.
he like picks it apart like he would an art film and he's like, this is the reason for this and this is the imagery for this. It's so
That's
funny.
awesome. That's
He
like
like
that
totally over analyzes it. It was hilarious.
I need that. That kind of reminds me of a show, the other show, Pingu? Pingu?
Yes, that
Yeah,
became like a
Pingu?
meme.
Yeah,
Pingu is a meme.
that was such a crazy show. It was so weird, but it was like I also couldn't stop
Yeah.
watching it because they weren't speaking
Yeah.
English, and I'm like, what are they
Well,
saying?
see, that's funny because that's claymation. I know you don't like claymation or you don't like stop motion.
Yeah, but it's less freaky. Like it's just penguins, so I can't really get freaked
Hmm.
out by.
Freaked out by. Okay,
I don't
interesting.
know.
So it's more like
It's
humans
really
who move
dependent.
in that. It's the humans who move in that area that freak you out, not just
Yeah,
like animals.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's a lot of that Tim Burton stuff. Just I can.
I love the Tim Burton animation. I can't get enough of Tim Burton animation. I think it's amazing.
I think it's incredibly talented. It just freaks me out. And I
Uh,
told you before, Chicken Run, whatever the hell that show
I
is.
can't believe you don't like Chicken Run. I can't believe
I
that. It's
like the
such a great movie.
movie, but again, it's just the animation, the claymation is just like
I guess it never really bothered me, but I think I was just because I was just like a very
I'm just
kind
a
of like
strange
la da da
person.
da da.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you my guilty pleasure in my show because I was actually made fun of for this a lot. But
Okay.
first of all, sorry, Arthur was probably my top kid
Oh,
show. I
number
just
one.
thought of that.
I was
Number one.
if Arthur was on at any point of the
I
day,
would
I would
always
watch the
watch it.
entire episode.
No
Yeah.
matter what else was on, I would
Yep.
watch it.
I've
Sorry.
always wanted to go to the Sugar Bowl. That
Yeah.
always looked really cool. We have a place called Sugar Bowl in Edmonton,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Sorry, yeah. So this is just kind of like a funny side note. So when I was younger, I would get home from school and sometimes there would be nothing on. I'd get home right at 3:30. So I would watch a soap opera called Passions. And it was basically about
My mom used to watch that.
yeah, it had witches and mermaids, which was so strange in a soap opera to
Yes.
have. It had a like basically
Oh my
kind of like a
God.
transgender cross-dresser. I don't even know what they were trying to portray, but a villain, so you didn't know if it was a male or female. And my sisters would come home and open the door and they'd be like, what are you watching? But for some reason, it was so entertaining as a
Yes,
7-year-old.
I'm pretty sure that was the one that my mom watched when I was a kid,
Oh,
because I remember coming home and that show would be on.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh man,
Weird
soap
guilty
operas. Those
pleasure.
are weird. Yeah, those are
I
weird
would never
ones.
watch any other soap opera though. There was only just that one. That's why it
Just
was
that one. Well,
strange.
yeah, it's probably because it was on.
Yeah.
One of my, I mean, I have like, I could just keep going on and on and on, but
Oh, me too.
um, but I wanted to list a couple of ones that I used to watch when I was a really little kid that were my favorite ones, and then I had a couple that I would watch. Again, like they're more guilty pleasures than anything. So I'll go with my guilty pleasure first, which was like the Maury Povich show. I used to watch the Maury Povich
Yes.
show
Who didn't watch
when
Maury?
you were, well, when you were sick at home, there was nothing else on, so you watch Maury, you know.
You are not the father.
Ah!
Wah!
And then everyone runs off stage and
And
it's just so
the
dramatic.
males do backflips and the girls are
Well,
like,
and it's funny because like
"Ah!"
as a kid, I thought that was all real, and I was like, how does this happen every time? But as anyway,
I love the
um,
episodes where they'd be like, I'm 13 and I'm pregnant and I don't care about my baby daddy. You're like,
like, well, and the way
what?
that they film it is just like so strange, the way that they film it, and I don't know, like
It's
those
funny.
kinds of like quote unquote reality shows have always weirded me out. Like, but as a kid, I watched Maury because I was like, well, I'm sick at home and there's nothing else to watch. It's this or Judge Judy. So,
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
but Price is Right.
Mm-hmm.
My sister
Mm-hmm.
especially loves Price is Right. As soon as it comes on, she just like freaks out. She loves it. Um,
That's funny.
yeah, and so and then
Ah.
the shows that I used to watch as a super super little kid were
Mm.
shows like, you know, Sharon Lois and Bram,
Mm.
Ants in Your Pants.
Yes, that's a good one.
What was the other one? Crazy Quilts. I don't know if you know that show.
No?
Crazy Quilt. It was like
Crazy
an
Quilt.
arts and crafts show.
Oh, that sounds a little
With like a
familiar.
little raccoon. She was like a woman and a little raccoon like puppet. I
Yeah,
forget
this
his
is
name. I think his
ringing a
name was
bell.
Scooter. Yeah.
Crazy Quilt. Yes, this is
Yeah,
ringing a
Crazy
bell.
Quilt. I used to love watching that show. And
Let
then
me look this up.
what the hell was her name? Lamb Chop. I don't know if you remember Lamb Chop.
Lamb chop.
Cause it's lamb chops, play along. Dun, 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 dun. Sherry Lewis.
Lamb chops.
You know the song that never ends?
Mm-hmm.
That song was on Lamb Chop. Maybe that was
Oh.
just me who watched Lamb Chop. I don't know. Does anyone else watch Lamb Chop? Am I the only one?
It doesn't. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I've never seen the show.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe I'm just
Right.
weird then.
No.
Watching
I mean,
obscure
maybe I have,
things.
but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a lot of TV as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and
I feel that.
um, yeah, we kind of touched on a couple. Well, I feel it feels like years ago, but a couple weeks ago probably we touched on some like those like weird Canadian children's concerned
Yes.
advertisements.
Don't you put it in your mouth. Don't you
Uh-uh.
put it in your mouth, because you know it's not safe.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great.
I
And then
heard they
there's the
made a
one of like,
coronavirus like updated version of that song.
what?
Yeah.
Oh
I'll
my
see if I
God.
can find it, but continue.
Well, I'm just thinking of those other advertisements. There's the one with the robot saying like, I can put myself back together, but you can't. Play safe. And it was,
Yeah,
do
that
you
one
remember
was
that one?
weird.
That one
Yes.
always scared me because I was like, oh, his arm's getting chopped off. There was the one about the TV where he's like, you can, it made
Yep.
TV look so cool. And then he's
Yeah.
like, you can go outside and play.
Yeah.
But then he's like, you can watch these shows. You should watch these shows. I was like, yeah, TV is pretty cool. Like, I'm trying to think of what else there was. There's another one. Like the rats with the
The house
mousetrap.
hippo.
The house hippo,
House
yes.
hippo commercial.
Which tricked an entire generation of children into thinking that house hippos were real. Because
I totally thought they were too.
yeah, because at the very end she's like, that looked pretty real, but you know it couldn't be true, but you didn't pay attention to that
I
part. You're
know.
like, house hippos are real. I'm gonna leave out peanut butter.
They're coming for me.
I remember I looked for a house hippo. I was like,
Yeah.
where can I find my house hippo? I want to find mine.
Even though hippos are like literally the most dangerous animal, which is hilarious
are.
that they made these cute versions of them, and that's a really bad advertising tool. Okay, kids could have adopted a hippo and things could have gone wrong so badly.
Oh, the 90s. It was a wild
It was a trip.
wild west of just random innovative cartoons, but also very strange advertisements, and
Yep.
especially in Canadian television, it was just very strange
We
time.
were just trying our best.
We were
We're just trying to compare to the States.
I will never get tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could honestly talk about TV shows for days, but we are actually out of time, so I won't blabber on too much longer. But if you have any recommendations of shows that you liked or any fever dream shows, let us know because we want to hear them. So thank you for watching our show about TV shows we watched as kids. My name is Millie Rouge.
And my name is Marissa Kay. And if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when these shows come out. They come out Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. every single day. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.
Yes. Happy birthday, Marshall. Shout out, even though you can't watch TV in real life. Okay. Bye, everybody.